Hello everybody and welcome to another reaction video. Now I'm going to start this off by saying that some generous asshat has given me a cold. So if I make any gross sounds during the duration of this video, I do apologise, and I've just hit my microphone cable. So I do apologise if I make any horrible and gross noises, but whoever gave me this cold, you can fuck off. Anyway, to the point at hand. Today I'm going to be looking at a band called Ov Lustra, or Ov Lustra, not sure. Band I hadn't heard of before, so obviously had to do a bit of research. I didn't really find very much, unfortunately. I found that Ov Lustra is an American blackened death metal band from Phoenix, Arizona. That was it. They do have a debut album, Tempestus, which is coming out June 7th, and features musical work and orchestration by Francesco Ferrini from Flesh God Apocalypse. So that's quite an interesting little nugget of information. Now we're going to look at a track today called The Ritual. Unfortunately, I was unable to find any lyrics for the video, so I will literally just be reacting to the music, and if I can make out any lyrics throughout, then I shall endeavour to do that. Excuse me. So, yeah, I can't really say much about the song, I can't say much about the band, because, well, I've told you all the information I have. So we'll just get straight into the track, I think. So yes, the Ritual by Ov Lustra. Let's see where this goes. The music to this is phenomenal, you know, it's really good, really, well, orchestral, you know. I say they're an American blackened death metal band, but I think, you know, there should be another word thrown in there. You know, or it's orchestral. You know, it's got some amazing music in the background. It is phenomenal. The vocal style is very similar as well. Familiar. It reminds me of another band, and I can't quite place my finger on it. There's a slight hint of Gorefest in there, which I mentioned yesterday, I think it was, when I was talking about Neo Blaviscaris. But anyway, fantastic so far, and they've mixed vocal styles as well, which again, as I've said many, many times, is something that I really like and something that I really, really enjoy when a band mixes up its vocal styles. I do wish that I had the lyrics for it, but unfortunately I don't, because then I could delve further into the song. But I really love the composition of this music. You know, it's really heavy, it's got a grand sense and feel to it, you know, really, really very enjoyable. Let's carry on and see how this goes.
Yeah.
Well, that was The Ritual by Ov Lustra. It was really good piece of music. You know, like I said, the music in the background was really hard, really heavy, really fast. You know, there's some really amazing orchestral sounding moments in it. Which is something I didn't actually expect, although with it saying it's blackened death metal, you know, you sort of expect, I suppose, a little bit of orchestration coming in from black metal. It is a shame I didn't get my hands on any lyrics, but just tried to find information on the band was hard enough, never mind the lyrics for the song. So, yeah, that was a really enjoyable piece of music. I'd be very interested in hearing some more of their stuff. Not really sure what else I could say about it. I mean, like I said, it was really hard, really heavy, and I very much enjoyed it. And again, like I said before, I love the way they've mixed up the vocal styles. They've got the deep and growled guttural. They seem to actually have three different styles, and they had some really deep sort of growled gutturals. Then they sort of had a slightly lighter guttural sound, and then of course they had the more black metal sort of screams in there as well. You know, and if I've said it once, I've said it a million times, I like when bands mix up the vocal styles, because it adds variation to the track. It stops the track becoming, I don't want to use the word monotonous, but I can't think of another word. You know, hearing the same style of vocal throughout an entire song gets quite, I don't want to say dull, but, you know, it gets a bit repetitive, because if you hear someone singing in a normal voice, you know, they have variations in the pitch of their voice throughout the song, but when you're doing guttural vocals, it's harder to do that. When you do guttural vocals, they tend to be all the same pitch. So when you change that up throughout a metal song, you know, it really adds variety to the track. And, you know, it's something I really enjoy. And when I myself sing in a band, I try and make variations in the way that I sing as well, so that, you know, just to give it that little bit of extra depth, I suppose you could call it. You know, so, you know, I like it when bands do that. And, you know, this band, they do it very well. Very good. So, yes, I would very much like to hear something else by them. And, hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on some lyrics next time. But I really can't say much else about it, other than it was really good, and I'd very much like to hear some more. But yeah, the debut album, Tempestus, is still a way off. It says it's out on June 7th, apparently. So, I might have to wait a while before I can get my hands on anything. But we'll leave that one as it is. If anybody else would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so. By all means, you can drop a comment in the comments section below, or you can message me on my Facebook or my Instagram. The links for those are also in the description below. Could hardly bloody breathe. Just know, if you do make a suggestion, it might take me a while to get around to, well, it will take me a while to get around to it, because obviously I get suggested dozens of new tracks every single day, and I only record one video per day, so, you know, the math there, you know, the list grows faster than I can record. So every suggestion does get written down. It will take me a while to get around to it, but I will get around to it sooner or later. The only other thing that might prevent your suggestion from coming up is copyright. Because I'm sure there are people out there that would like me to do reactions to certain videos, like, for example, Rammstein's new track. I would love to be able to do that, but they have very strict copyright on their videos, so I'm not going to be able to actually do that, because that video will get banned as soon as it's uploaded. So, you know, there's a lot of copyright things floating around at the moment with changes to European internet standards and stuff like that. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a very proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. They are a British-based charity whose main focus is to put an end to hate crimes, especially those concerning people of the alternative subculture, people who listen to alternative music and wear alternative clothing. Obviously, they'd like to put an end to all hate crimes, but their main focus is those of the alternative subculture. And it's something I think really needs addressing. It's something that doesn't get enough attention, in my opinion. We see hate crimes in the news pretty much every day. You know, we see sexism, we see racism, we see homophobia, we see transphobia, we see religious hatred. You know, we see these things nearly every day, but what we don't see is the daily occurrence of people who are getting physically and verbally abused just because of the music that they listen to, and just because of the way that they dress. You know, and it's something that doesn't get the attention, but it is a very serious problem. I mean, if you don't know the story of Sophie Lancaster, you know, this girl and her boyfriend were attacked, beaten up, and she was ultimately killed because of the way that they dressed. You know, because of the clothes that they were wearing and the music that they listened to. People thought it was an acceptable thing to attack them and beat them to the point where they killed her. You know, and this should not be a thing. There should never be this mentality that people think it's an okay thing to beat someone up for liking something different. You know, if you don't like the way someone's dressed, don't look at them. If you don't like the music that they listen to, that's fine. You don't have to like it. They're not making you listen to it. Listen to your own music. We're not forcing our music on you. Let it go. But to beat someone up because of the music and clothes that they wear, it's beyond ridiculous. I mean, you don't beat people up because they like different flavour crisps to you. You don't beat people up because they like Coca-Cola over Pepsi. You know, beating someone up because they like heavy metal instead of chart music is utterly ridiculous. You know, I've tried many times to try and figure out people's justification for doing it, and I cannot do it. It makes no sense. You know, and it's a very real problem. You know, it happens daily, more so than people let on. You know, I used to get bullied and attacked, beaten up. You know, I used to get rammed into shop windows and, you know, punched in the back of the head by people I've never met before. Just because of the clothes that I wore, just because of the music that I listened to. You know, and this happened on an almost daily basis, and many of my friends have experienced the same thing too. And I'm sure many of you out there have probably experienced it as well. It's something that is not acceptable and something that doesn't get enough coverage. And it's something that needs more attention. Something needs to be done. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation are trying to do. They are trying to bring more attention to it so we can put an end to it. So people like us don't have to worry about the possibility of getting beaten just because we like different music. So if you want to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to the website in the description below. You can pop over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what they're all about, because they can explain their goals much, much better than I can, because I do randomly waffle on and talk absolute garbage sometimes. But if you can help them in any way, even if it's something as simple as one of these Sophie bracelets, that would be absolutely fantastic. Every little bit helps. Every little bit is greatly appreciated. So if you can help in any way, that would be absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.